hot mess is, I need you to do me a favor, okay? Ready? Let's breathe in, deep breath, and out, and be so grateful that we are done reading a deeply depressing book. So we've been reading How to Disappear Completely on Modern Anorexia by Kelsey Osgood, and I love this book, and I know a lot of you did too, but I'm really glad that I'm done with it. I'm also glad that I'm done with it because that means that today we're going to talk about some of your guys' responses to it. Tara Upshaw writes, I thought that the author really gets at a person wanting to feel special and then developing a mental disorder. I've had similar thoughts myself. As I said in a couple of videos, I completely agree with this. I feel like the way mental illness is packaged to us in our culture is maybe a little bit wrong. We sort of get told that it's really organic always and that it has to be biological and that it's not something people can develop over time or something that people can develop because of certain circumstances. Like, this book is focusing on the way that we act like anorexia is something that's just like latent within someone and that just comes out of nowhere, rather than something that cultural factors lead to and people develop over time based on, you know, their experiences with life. And I really thought it was cool to get into sort of a different way of looking at mental illness. Alexis also commented about how much she related to the way Kelsey Osgood talked about her childhood, and I totally did as well. The sort of girl interrupted factor. Yeah. It's not something that's like easy to talk about, which is part of the reason why this book is so hard to read, but I think that that's a really interesting part of American femininity that people don't talk about, which is feeling trapped within yourself or trapped within the culture and wanting to find a way out of it, and people not necessarily always choosing the healthiest ways out of it. The idea behind this book is that people who suffer from eating disorders are just really trapped in a lot of shit, and that it gives them some kind of thing that's theirs that they can work towards that helps them not excuse the way they're feeling, but like power through it with some kind of like tangible results. Does that make any sense to anybody? I think it makes sense to you. You get it. Paige has a really interesting criticism of this book that I agree with also, but I just didn't think to articulate. She says that the author sometimes acts like my mental illness is more special, mine can beat up yours, and yeah. Eva pointed out her favorite quote from this book, which I like too, and I'd like to read to you. I sometimes pitied my parents and my extended family and the normal citizens of the world for having nothing extraordinary like anorexia to live for, but I knew deep down that the sense of superiority was ultimately born of cowardice. That might as well sum up the whole book. Like, if there was room for that long of a title, that could be the title of this book. And Kaya shares her very deep insight. I'm not reading the very well written but very depressing book. I just find your reactions very thought out / amusing. I appreciate your comment because first of all, that's very flattering to me, and second of all, I totally understand where you're coming from. I would frequently not read books in college, but would still be really interested in the discussion of them in class. So I guess I feel like a college professor everyone's ignoring. So yes, it was really fun reading this book with you guys. It was really fun talking to you about it. I need to give a shout out to Julia because we had a lot of conversations about it on email and I didn't want to share them, but I don't want to leave you out. So cheers to you guys. It's also not too late to still talk to me about this book, so if you're interested, I love talking about books. So send me tweets or comments or what have you. Looking forward to it. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Next week I'm going to be giving my final review of this book, so I hope you're looking forward to that. I am. I'm also looking forward to the next book being a lot more chill and uplifting.